What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded, and it's the afternoon. Got my kids to nap on time. Super excited. Well, kind of on time. It's like a half hour late, but is what it is. It's better than yesterday. They wouldn't sleep at all. It was miserable. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Steven Cicero, what's up, buddy? We have Patrick Murphy in the chat. Good to see you. Matt Electron, what's up, buddy? Zapirate, Automatic Beats, Patrick Guyan, what's up, dude? Prox Crypto. Who else? Let's see. Nobody else. Damn it. Dead day. No, it's my fault for not posting earlier, but I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. All right, let's see how we looking today. We're still looking pretty good. Still 28,000. It was actually just below it this morning, and then it went up towards the end of the stream, and it's literally hovering right around 28. So it's looking good. Ethereum 1762 looks great. Fear and Greed, if you guys didn't see this morning, 68 in the greed. It's starting to turn green. Still not too bad, but it's getting to that think about it, because we're gonna have a pullback soon, moment. Two Bros Mining, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. All right, top 10 coins over at CoinGecko, and then we'll get into the video. So we're going BTC, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoins in 8th, Lido staked Ether in 9th, and Polygon in 10th. This is according to Coin Market Cap, or the Coin Market Cap in general of these coins. All right, so this is Crypto Zombies video, and this is what I want to watch today. This is a video he put out yesterday, actually, and it seems like it's going to be relevant for the next couple days. So I'm not sure if he's going to put another video today or not, but this seemed like a good one to watch with you guys, so we can talk during it and analyze it as it goes on. But he made some good points here, and I didn't get to finish completely this entire video, so let's watch it. Let's see what he has to say, and we'll go from there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, and we'll go from there. All right, let's do it.
So the US has to be very careful what it does here. But if that's the case, if they're too heavy-handed, in a global world, that capital's going to flow elsewhere. And then every pension fund, sovereign wealth fund, hedge fund, anybody else wanting to do business in cryptocurrencies will go to London. And they'll go to Singapore, they'll go to the UAE, they'll go to Hong Kong. That's the way the world works.
Good point. I found this hysterical. This kid's like, what the F? Oh, that's great. It's a pirate, my man. Appreciate you.
What's going on, guys? KW.
Real quick, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, dude. You didn't have to do that. It's a pirate. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see who got him. Who got him? We have Automatic Beats, Patrick Guyan, Golden Wolf, Ninja Kid, and Sadie sometimes. Appreciate you guys. Smash that like button. It's a pirate. You're the man. Appreciate you, buddy.
Here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. Now, obviously, I don't want to start the week off overly bullish. There is a few things we need to talk about in the charts. But guys, we were talking about this triple threat theory for Bitcoin, and you can see right here, we finally closed this candle above all of these major levels. We are above the 50, above the 200, which makes us above the death cross, above the horizontal, and yes, we are above the major downwards sloping support, flipped into resistance, now hopefully flipping back into support. Now, this is absolutely crazy, guys. In fact, you can see that Goldman Sachs has come out with this year-to-date absolute, and pretty much, look at this, guys. Bitcoin is sitting right at the very top, right? There is a lot of things happening right now in the space. So some of the things that we need to discuss is the fact that we did break above this sort of triple threat area. Now, obviously, there is some minor things we do need to look at in the charts, right? We might be getting slightly overheated, right? But ultimately, what we have seen right now is all of this situation with the banking contagion really just ultimately being a giant advertisement for Bitcoin. And there are so many people that are shocked right now. They can't believe that Bitcoin is pumping. In fact, Bitcoin is up 40% since when we started to have this debacle with all of this contagion happening. So there is a little bit of a conspiracy, right? We are going to still touch upon this Operation Choke Point. Is the US really trying to cut off all that access? And this guy right here, you don't hear a lot about him, Michael S. Barr, the vice chair for supervision. Who is this guy? And, you know, what is...
So he makes a lot of good points in this video from what I've seen thus far anyways. I haven't watched the whole thing, but if you guys have any questions during it, please feel free to ask. We have a question in the chat. Joker Miner asked, what am I doing this weekend? He has to drive to Florida and drive back to Iowa in 3 days, 32 hours in the car. Dude, I drove 18 and a half hours straight from Florida. No joke. I stopped for gas. That was it. But I drove the entire way. It was brutal. And I died the entire, like, the second day following that. It was awful. Slept all day.
Is really happening in the background. Now, this is going to be a bit of a longer video today. I'm just going to be honest. This is not going to be a short video, but I highly suggest that you stick around to the end because there are so many topics we need to go over today. There's a few things that people are asking. Questions like, will the US eventually look to try to completely choke Bitcoin? Are they going to look to ban it? And why the US needs to be very, very careful, because if they don't play their cards right, well, there could be something absolutely not so good for the US. Let's just say.
Well, I think what he's getting to there is you're going to start to force people's hands on either moving out of the country or taking their business elsewhere, right? Which is obviously offshore accounts and not so legal stuff. So that's kind of what he's getting into here, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, this is Crypto Zombie. I will leave a link to his channel down in the description below for this video. If you guys are interested, go like and subscribe to him, and congratulations to him for hitting 250K. Absolutely amazing.
That, but still pretty good for Bitcoin. So if all that sounds good to you today, guys. Oh, and I wanted to also say thank you so much.
Yeah.
Guys, I officially broke 250,000 subscribers.
Congratulations to him for that.
So if you're new and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for, guys? We're having some good content lately. So yes, you guys can see, thumbs up for this. We are officially above my triple threat area. I believe as long as Bitcoin can, essentially just hold above this area, which is right now 25,275. Actually, I'm sorry. 25,454. Sorry, the moving average has gone up since the last time we looked at this chart. Then I honestly think we could be poised for a massive continuation of this move. Now, obviously, we are at currently a very important level, and I don't even have it drawn right here, but you can see right where we're sitting, right here. And look at this. You can see how we touched that area, right? We had, this support right here, this support right here, this support right here. So now that it's acting as resistance, that is something to consider, but it wouldn't be totally shocking and out of the cards to see a slight Bitcoin correction. You can see, though, we did completely break out of this upwards channel, this parallel channel, and we've been above it for 4 straight days. So, I mean, realistically, guys, if we're above this channel for 3 more days, that's an entire week, right? It's not literally Monday to Sunday, but it is 7 days that we will have stayed. So thus far, 4 days, still holding above it. A little bit of a red candle today, but you could see there was more buying pressure from the bottom. And I just want to point out this VPVR has actually built a very, very nice area of interest right here at around the $24,600 level. So you may see a lot of buyers stepping back in at that point, right? Now, do I have a bit of caution? Of course, guys, let's not bet the farm on everything right now, because as you can see, we are having fear and greed moving into the...
Wait, what? Hold on. Joker Miner, last night was Max's birthday? Wow, I'm a butthole. I can't believe I didn't join his stream. I feel terrible. Well, happy birthday to Max if he's here. He's definitely not, but I'll say it to him later. Damn it. Thank you for reminding me or telling me.
Greedy territory, right? So you could see that this is around 66. Now, we're not up into the 100% yet, but, if we do come back here, this is the highest fear and greed euphoria that we've had in a year. So this is very euphoric, right? And if we go to the max right here, the last time that we had levels up around this area was pretty much around March of 2022. So, if we come over here and have a look at basically where was March of 2022, as you guys can see right here, April, May, June, March. I'm sorry, March, April. I'm going backwards here. So right around here, guys. So we see we had that euphoria and everybody got excited, and then we just fell, right? So just be cautious about that.
So I think this is what that guy this morning, who were we looking at? What's his name? Gary. I think his name was Gary. He had an interview and he was talking about how Bitcoin could go back to 13 or 9K. And everybody else is calling for 1 million. He was saying by the end of 2023, though, it wasn't within like this short of a time span, but either way, actually, is that pretty? Yeah, no, that's a pretty short time span. It's only a month or so. Yeah.
But this rally is a lot more significant, I think, than this one right here. just because, the percentage off the bottom has been absolutely incredible. And, the one thing, like I did warn, is you can see that, remember I said anywhere within this blue zone is sort of just fair, kind of middle ground. We're just sort of bouncing around. Below this zone, you get down to this red. This is like super buy level. You get up to this green. Now you're up to the second support, which is around 37,000. I don't know if we're going to get that high in this move. But, for example, it wouldn't be impossible to see us have a retest, right, of this down here, right? So that we can now retest this resistance as support. Bitcoin comes back down to around that $25,300 level. And then maybe we make that next attempt up to around that 31,000 level, right? So just pointing that out, understand these markets do ebb and flow. Is Bitcoin just going to parabolic all the way up to the moon? Probably not. Right? Probably not. People are going to take profits along the way. And this area right here, 30,000 specifically, I think you're going to see selling personally. I think you're going to see a lot of people say, I sat around this area for a year. I'm tired. I'm breaking even. Right. I'm getting the heck out of the space, right? Because there are still probably...
So I agree with him on that. So again, people like round numbers, right? They like to see 30,000, 20,000, whatever, 50,000, 100,000. People are going to jump out at those levels because it's a comfort thing, or it's like a psychological even number thing, right? There's going to be a lot of selling around 30K. So let's see what happens.
Some weak hands in here that are just hoping to get their money back. I do think the majority has sold though. Having a look right here, we still have not had the guppy flipping into neutral, and we have not had the money flow back into the green. We have had wave edge flipping into purple. So we're still kind of waiting on 2 out of 3 of these. But, if we get these flipping on the weekly, I'm going to basically say that the bull run's back on, but I'm not going to say it just yet because I'm not seeing it. So yes, technically it's like, oh, well, you got to wait till we get all the way back to 30,000 and it missed the move. Well, we did double from 15 to 30. I mean, how many people have been bearish out there? I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but how many people have been bearish since 17, whatever? Maybe we do go lower. All I know is that we literally have gone from 15 almost up to 30. You basically could have doubled your money. And maybe made even some more if you got into those AI crypto altcoins, right? You can see that the dominance on Bitcoin is getting very high. So yeah, going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Guys, if you do want to learn how to trade this though, man, there's been so many opportunities. We basically go over it every day on the channel. I let you guys know transparently what's going on.
Yeah, he has
if you
a
guys
good
want to trade, there's a tutorial up here. Check it, popping up right now. 56,000 in bonuses. And like I said, check out the Apex DEX if you guys are worried about all this crazy stuff going on with centralized exchanges. It sucks. Sometimes you have to use them, for certain cryptos. But if you're just trading Bitcoin and you want decent liquidity, I would definitely use a decentralized. Check out Apex. I have a free tutorial on that if you guys want to check it out. It's safer, as long as you know what you're doing with your private key. So, oh my goodness, where do we begin? There's so much to talk about, guys.
This is the juicy stuff.
Okay, let's start here. Credit Suisse has struck a deal with UBS for $3.2 billion in a rescue deal aimed at calming financial market panic triggered by the current American banking crisis. Both UBS and CS are regarded as being among the top 30 most important banks in the international monetary system, with the two lenders' combined assets totaling close to $1.7 trillion. So what does all of this mean? Well, it basically means like it looks like history's about to repeat, right? So I don't know if you guys saw this. I want to play some clips from this. Raul Pal was over on Anthony Pompliano's channel, and Did
any of you guys see this actual podcast with Anthony Pompliano and Raul Pal? I have not personally, but I'm interested to watch it after this.
Discussing all kinds of
not during the stream, but just in general.
Macro situations. But, one of the things that he asked him was basically, what is going to happen next for Bitcoin, right? And he was also asking him about what, the government might do if they find themselves in a situation. Will they attempt to cut off, access to Bitcoin? Will there be a war against it? This is what Raul believes.
So let's go back to the last time we saw this, which was December 21st, 2018. The Fed just stopped and said, right, we're not going to increase the balance sheet. We're not going to raise rates any further, not going to decrease the balance sheet, not going to raise rates any further. Over the next 6 months, crypto was up 300%. So Bitcoin did 300 and something percent. The exponential age stocks, which are the really kind of growthy ARK style stocks, they were up about 30%. The NASDAQ was about 22%, something of that magnitude. The S&P was about 15%. And so we can see that relationship happens. So new all-time highs in the next 12 months or so, maybe a bit longer. NASDAQ gets there sooner because of its relationship. Crypto moves very fast. So if we go back to our conversation earlier about bank runs, and we said, you either kind of guarantee the system or you try and throttle it. My view is the US understands crypto, understands that it is the answer to the future, but they need to throttle it because if you create the bank run on the entire system, then the unintended consequences are simply gigantic. That's kind of everybody losing their jobs, the entire system breaking apart, the entire system of the United States as being the world leader, or Europe, and all of this falls apart. They don't want that, but I think they understand that there is a future here, but there's a battle to get people across because some people can't stand it, they don't like the idea of it, other people understand it but don't want it to happen too fast, and I get that. So I think that there will be an ongoing war. And if Balaji gets across what he wants to do, which is get more people to move out of the system into the Bitcoin market, we'll see the pushback coming. But it happens very quickly because the mob is pretty fast, as we know. And the mob with a hive mind who's deciding, let's go to the parallel financial system, they can move really fast. So the government's going to try and stop it. But, they do have, as Punk 6529 talks about, there is a freedom to transact here. You need the ability to do that. And if they go against that, then they're really trying to change the political spectrum entirely. And I think that the pushback would be so gigantic, but it is going to be a fight.
But here's the thing, though. Here's why the US needs to be a little bit careful when it comes to overstepping, because basically what we know will happen is it will push innovation overseas. You will not be able to close Pandora's box now that it's been opened.
That whole mechanism plus Brexit meant that the world's capital markets went back to New York. And they've been in New York for the last 10 years or so. But the UK is looking like it wants to regulate crypto in a very sensible way. They understand regulatory arbitrage better than any country on earth. You see, once the US screws up and misses an opportunity, the UK has the rule of law, the language, the ability for Americans to go and live and work there. It's a global capital center. It's connected with Singapore, the Cayman Islands, Hong Kong, the UAE, all of the places that matter. It has a broader relationship on a less aggressive policy. So my guess is we don't know whether this government will last in the UK or not. But if it does, the UK will probably eat the US's lunch. And we'll see Coinbase, we'll see Kraken, we'll see Circle, we'll see everybody relocating to the UK because it's
and see that's where the problem transpires. If so, the US is so, we've been in the lead with the US dollar is always like the number one and everything is to that, right? If crypto goes overseas, that's going to draw so much negative attention towards the US, so they're like in a pickle right now. It's either they accept crypto or they forfeit the ingenuity that's going to end up somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's going to be detrimental regardless.
Easy change to have. And don't forget, this is $1 trillion industry. It's $3 trillion at peak. What's it going to be at next peak? 5, 10 trillion, probably. So of course the UK wants it because it's lost relevancy. So the US has to be very careful what it does here. I don't think it stops the people per se getting involved. I think it tries to regulate that. That's all well and good. I think it's trying to stop the infrastructure layer being built and becoming too powerful, too decentralized. Right. So they can regulate Coinbase and maybe they can regulate Circle, but they don't want too many moving parts in all of this. But if that's the case, if they're too heavy-handed, in a global world, that capital's going to flow elsewhere.
Right.
And then every pension fund, sovereign wealth fund, hedge fund, anybody else wanting to do business in cryptocurrencies will go to London and they'll go to Singapore, they'll go to the UAE, they'll go to Hong Kong. That's the way the world works.
And then they went on to ask him if he believes that the US will actually buy Bitcoin, or do they need to hold Bitcoin as a sense of insurance? And his answer was kind of not as surprising, but I guess it makes sense. Check this out.
They don't need to hold reserves. They're the world's reserve currency. They just print dollars and build gunships and space rockets. So no, they don't need this. Do other countries do this? For sure. We've seen it. we've seen it, and we know the Middle East and others have woken up to this because of what happened to their the Russian dollar reserves. So other countries may be incentivized to do it, but it's a very volatile asset. So really, and I've talked about this in the past, sovereign wealth funds it fits better in than it fits in bank treasuries, because it's just in central bank treasuries because it's so volatile. So I don't think the US does it.
So it's definitely interesting when you look at Bitcoin, you look at the response to Bitcoin, you realize that the banks are obviously not really as transparent as they claim they are. And it's pretty crazy how crypto seems like a better alternative, you know, and I understand in the US, maybe you don't really see that from the Western side because we always tend to just kind of put the Band-Aid on. But, you know, there are a lot of countries that would actually benefit from this. ARK Invest had a newsletter that they put out, and they said that it is looking again like a safe haven. In the face of the US and European banking crisis, Bitcoin's price appreciation suggests that the lax regulatory oversight had no impact on the decentralized, transparent, and audible crypto asset ecosystem. They went on to say last week, when many banks were closed and others were facing bank runs, Bitcoin didn't skip a beat. It settled $33 billion, facilitated 600,000 transactions, issued 2,037 new Bitcoin at a steady and predictable rate, 1.8% inflation, won new million addresses, and generated $43 million for miners securing the network. So doesn't look like Bitcoin's having any difficulty right now. And again, you know, short-term speculation on Bitcoin has always been the deterrent. I will just say that, right? The reason that people don't like Bitcoin sometimes is this short-term horizon. How could it go from 15,000 to 20, down to 17, up to 30, right? It's crazy. You can't keep your money in something like this. It's too volatile. It's not stable. Well, yeah, on a shorter time frame, it's very volatile.
Of course
but on a longer time frame, it consistently has outpaced every other option out there, right?
Literally everything.
You can see right here that Andrew Kang had pointed out the macro backdrop for Bitcoin has never been more perfect. The Fed must reduce aggressiveness in rate hikes with economy slowing and global financial system turmoil. Equities not attractive given slowing sales and high PE. Bonds are mediocre yield and risk versus reward profile. Fiat increasingly likely to be debased, and amazing setup to compel flows from traditional finance investors. Now,
interesting. Quick question. So we have Endless Mining in the chat. He's actually a seller of ASICs and such, right? I have a question for you, sir. I would like to know, do you see an influx of Bitcoin like ASIC sales right now while Bitcoin's pumping? And if you do, which is like, what's the most popular model that people purchase? Just wondering. And as always, well, not like last Friday, but this Friday, we'll be going over the spreadsheet, and I'll be showing you guys where is the best deals for ASICs. And he actually has the ability to update his own section, which is nice. So hopefully that'll be up to date for us this Friday, and we'll see where the best prices to get ASICs are at. All right, let's keep going.
Somebody literally took this. Now, if you don't know what this is the infamous chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks. And this is in the first Bitcoin Genesis block. It's literally in there. And it's an homage that Satoshi sort of made to the people to show why Bitcoin was created in the first place. So somebody just took this and basically said, look at how crazy this is. It's almost like history is happening again, right? Look at the top, right? So they're talking about eat out for about $5. Pounds, whatever, we'll just say dollars, bucks. So now that 5 is now $25. Look at this headline. Israel prepares to send tanks and troops into Gaza. Well, we could replace that with Russia into Kyiv, right? Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. JPOW on brink of second bailout for banks. It's almost like history is repeating. Super high inflation, fear about wars, and also having financial issues and bailouts. It's like literally this is why Bitcoin was created, right? That's exactly what Misha Lederman was going on over on Twitter. He was explaining how it was born out of the 2008 financial crisis. Its main tenets are built on the fact that our current financial system, and we're going to get to the conspiracy part in a minute. I know. I just like to remind everyone why we're all here, or at least why I'm here. And instead, we need hard, predictable, and reliable money that we can trust in of itself without needing to trust in a third party. The simple truth is that companies, individuals, and organizations are losing trust in banks to hold custody of their funds and their hard-earned money. Instead of being part of a closed economic system where only the privileged few are privy to information that the public does not have access to, Bitcoin offers a transparent public ledger that everyone has access to, enabling a fair and more equal global financial ecosystem. Actually, I do want to I'm getting on.
Real quick, so Endless Mining actually answered us, which is amazing. Thank you very much. He said, I'm currently not moving my prices much, and I don't see prices move much in the market. He said the most sold miner in quantity is the 104 terahash, followed by the L7 9050. So I assume that's the S19J Pro 104 terahash they're talking about, followed by the L7 9050. That's awesome. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for the answer. It's just, I just wanted to know what people were actually searching for the most. That's awesome.
Off topic here. There's also a theory that Bitcoin was actually created by the global financial, even though the IMF and all these guys, they're all saying whatever, the World Economic Forum, that it was created as a fail safe, that no one.
And there's a link to Endless Mining in the chat. Thank you, Patrick Murphy. And that's awesome. He also said, Endless Mining said, I suspect the XPs to plunge in price in the following week based off Bitmain's recent Bitcoin Pizza Day event. Is that when the guy purchased two pizzas for like 22,000 Bitcoin or something crazy?
Could have ultimate control over in case of a financial collapse. Now, I don't know if that's true. I've heard people say that Putin created it, that, the crazy stuff, that Elon Musk is Satoshi. So, but it's just a funny.
Could you imagine Elon Musk being Satoshi?
So people globally are increasingly recognizing Bitcoin
Bando, what's up,
and
buddy?
Its value proposition. This growing awareness is driving demand for Bitcoin and causing its value to soar. Bitcoin's unique characteristics offer a viable alternative to traditional banks, and its growing popularity is a reflection of people's desire for a more secure and predictable financial future. Just like you've seen people, I'm not talking about like woke culture or whatever. Not like that, but I mean just in general, people just waking up, right? Like, do you guys remember the food pyramid when we were growing up? When I was growing up, as a kid, what was the 6 to 11 servings was bread, right? Bread was supposed to be the staple of, and I don't care what diet you do, but come on, I think we can all agree that bread should not be the most
true,
grains. So
true.
People woke up to that. We've started understanding
food
the stuff that they
was
put in the food. We started eating healthier, right? And now we're starting to understand the financial system, right? The internet is spreading information so fast that they can't really control the media anymore, right?
Can't make shit up anymore.
A lot of no, you got to be careful because you can get some misinformation out there. But you're seeing a lot of platforms like TikTok, really take off. There are some negatives to it. You could sit there and just be scrolling through garbage all day. But also, you got to understand that, if you follow the right sources, you can actually get a lot of truth. And I think right now people are understanding the truth. And just here's the conspiracy part, right? So deal done on signature bank sale. But why is crypto excluded? If we come down here, you can see that Reuters reported that the regulators asked the bidders to give up all the crypto business at the signature bank. But later, the FDIC said that was untrue. So you have Nick Carter, venture capitalist, believing that the FDIC lied and Reuters was indeed correct. Carter also has a strong opinion that the regulators have started Operation Choke Point 2.0 to cut the banking access of crypto businesses, right? But the interesting thing is, and I'm going to come back to this again, let's just really quickly look what happened. Right? March 10th, Silicon Valley Bank shut down by California regulator. U.S. depositors line up to withdraw funds. March 11th, the crypto industry begins to feel the pain as USDC depegs from the US dollar. But why was USDC depegging? Was it because of an error in the contract? Was it because of something wrong with Ethereum or the token? Or no, it actually had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that we had banks over the weekend being closed and they literally could not actually get the money, right? Because the banks were closed. Regulators in the US and UK began to take action on the 12th. U.S. Federal Reserve creates $25 billion program to backstop banks, promises to protect depositors. March 13th, President Biden promises to hold those responsible for the banking crisis fully accountable. Really? Well, who was fully accountable? Because it sounds to me like it would have been better to just be in something like Bitcoin, which actually increased in like 40% value over this whole debacle. And yeah, we did have USDC depegging, but the only reason that it was depegging is because there was a bank run on the coin and it couldn't be redeemed, not because there was anything wrong with crypto, not because there was anything wrong with USDC, but because legally they had to have it backed one-to-one with all of the money in this bank, and SVB wasn't available, right? They were being shut down. They couldn't do these transactions, right? So just think about it, guys. Crazy. They like to say, oh, we came, to the whatever here, but
the amount of panic that caused is just unreal. I mean, I was on vacation, so was Rondi. We had Red Panda, the Mining King, Hawk. We were all like away, right? And to have that happen while we were gone, like the USD, C becomes unpegged or whatever. It was so crazy to see it happen, and then it comes right back like the next 2 days. It was wild, right? But it throws everybody for like a loop, and it makes you panic just a little bit. I mean,
so let's talk about this guy, Michael Barr. I'm trying to keep this moving. I don't want to I could talk about this all day, but I'm trying to get to the point here. So this is crazy. So this guy, Michael Barr, is a lawyer who has spent more. Now,
that's a good question. Real quick. In the chat, RC said, Chum Change, you can only mine one altcoin that you must hodl, he said, for the next 24 months. What are you picking? That's a good question. Why don't you guys tell me what you would pick in the chat? I'm going to think about it for a minute. Because technically, I mean, I guess you mine it, right? I honestly, I believe that Doge is going to go somewhere, even though it's just such a shit coin. I really do think that it's going to get close to $1. But that's just me personally. What do you guys think? I'll put a poll up in the chat if you'd like. Give me some options and I'll make one while we're listening.
Let's actually just super quick go back to who this guy is. He is the vice chair for supervision, right, of the Federal Reserve, essentially. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go back over here. So he's a lawyer who spent most of his career jumping between academia and the U.S. government. He was one of the architects of the Dodd-Frank Act, a law that passed after the 2008 financial crisis. The Dodd-Frank Act legalized bank bail-ins in the United States and paved the way for similar legislation worldwide. Listen to this. The Dodd-Frank Act also created the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, the CFPB. Guess Elizabeth Warren proposed it. Allegedly, she's, obviously known as one of the most anti-crypto politicians in the US. So we have the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau speculating to be behind the original Operation Choke Point, right? The measure secretly cut off specific industries from the banking sector. Interestingly, the CFPB was proposed by an anti-crypto politician and was allegedly behind an operation to unbank particular sectors in the past. Now, despite being funded by the Fed and accounting for as much as 12% of the Fed's total...
I could only do 4 options. Sorry, guys. So if you have CKB or whatever, just put other. But yeah, that's all I could do.
Annual budget, the CFPB is not overseen by the Fed officials or any U.S. politicians. They're basically allowed to just sort of be this rogue entity. Surprisingly, Michael Barr also included something for himself in this Dodd-Frank Act too. You know what it was? It was a new position, a newly created position at the Fed. Can you guess what position it was? That's right, guys. That's right, guys. It is the vice chair for supervision. He created a pretty much position for himself, essentially. So
what?
Let's continue. So he made a speech regarding everything that was happening, and the timing was impeccable. Barr made his speech literally the day before the banking crisis really began to unfold. Very convenient, right? It's been suggested that he and his anti-crypto allies will use the situation to justify cutting down the crypto industry. Keeping stablecoins out of the banking system appears to be another key point.
Damn it, I meant to put only one altcoin. Damn it, sorry. In that poll, I messed it up.
This is because crypto, and especially stablecoins, are a direct competitor to FedNow. And remember we said how convenient that all of a sudden they're just going to roll this out at the same time. FedNow is the Federal Reserve's forthcoming interbank payments platform. It's basically one step closer to the creation of a central bank digital currency. They also go on in this article to discuss the fact that American crypto users have been on the rise. And just to conclude this again, Barr concluded that crypto ultimately poses a threat to the banking sector. Yeah, for them, not for us, right? Naturally, he cited the collapse of Silvergate, SVB, and Signature Bank as evidence of this threat. But again, going back, crypto had nothing to do with this. This was not crypto causing the collapse of a bank. This was a bank directly affecting the peg of a stablecoin due to a bank run that could not be fulfilled on their part, even though Circle did everything they were supposed to do.
Man, that's crazy.
So just got to point that out, guys. And I do want to end on this.
That's crazy.
We've talked about Balaji's $1 million Bitcoin bet. That was yesterday.
Oh my God.
So are we really due for the ultimate hated Bitcoin rally, as Arthur Hayes puts it? Well, in a recent blog post, he says that the Federal Reserve's new bank term funding program will ultimately trigger a hated.
Real quick, so it looks like Flux took it with, Other took it with 47%. So you guys are 35% Flux, 14% Doge, 2% KDA. I thought that was going to be the next one that was higher, but apparently I should have put CKB. But interesting. Appreciate you guys for answering the poll. And what do you guys think about this? I know this morning, Crypto Love, we watched his video, and he said, he mentioned John McAfee when he actually made the bet that Bitcoin was going to go to $1 million or he would literally eat his own dick. Do you guys remember that? It was, yeah, I feel like this is one of those bets that are just complete BS trying to pump the market. I honestly, truly believe that there's no chance it's getting to $1 million within 90 days. Like, it's not going to happen.
Bitcoin rally. Hayes says that the BTFD essentially equates to infinite money printing, which will likely boost risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto. However, he does say that he's not interested in stocks, which is weird. So he says the ensuing Bitcoin rally will be one of the most hated ever. How can Bitcoin and the crypto markets in general rally sharply after the bad things that happened in 2022? Didn't people learn Bitcoin and those associated with it are scumbags? Aren't people afraid of the narrative that Bitcoin caused the failure of large banks and almost consumed the US banking system? He's clearly being sarcastic here. For me and my portfolio, he says, I am largely done trading stocks. What's the point? I generally buy and hold and don't make around, really too many positions that often. I don't, he doesn't get in and out of them. He says, if I believe what I wrote, then I am signing myself up for underperformance. If there is a short-term trading opportunity where I think I can earn some quick fiat ducats and then take my profit and buy more Bitcoin, I will do it. Otherwise, I am liquidating most of my stock portfolio and I am moving it into crypto. So as we can see right here, I do want to go back to the charts and just stress the fact that, and I just want to also really quick, just point this right here, right? This upward sloping trend. You guys see this right here? So, we're very far off this trend right here. So I just want to point out, it would not be good to have an instant reversal and come all the way down here. I don't think that would be good for Bitcoin. But, even if you saw something like Bitcoin came sideways like this, we came up, anyways. We retested, or we came up and hit that $31,000 level, and then we slowly came down here, consolidated, and then came down, and we could come all the way back down after, literally after going to 32,000, and then Bitcoin would come all the way to 22. We would still be on an upward sloping trend. We would still be putting in higher highs. We would still be putting in higher lows. And, we might dip below the triple threat, but the fact that we closed below it today, I think shows massive, massive resilience. And there's no way, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This candle is there.
Who changed their name to Flux is overrated in the chat?
Done it. It's staying there for the rest of history. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. So I told you today's video was going to be a little bit longer.
That's awesome. Crypto Zombie dropping facts. It was perfect. All right. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sticking with me through it. I just wanted to see that video. I wanted to watch it. I wanted to see what he had to say about it, because it's a lot of stuff. Man, XRP is going nuts. 45 cents. Holy hell. What's happening? Why? What's the news on XRP? Did they win their court case? Is that what happened? Tell me. Somebody tell me. Does anybody know? XRP. That's, oh, what the hell? I'm making thumbnails over there. Hold on. What's going on? XRP news today. Let's see. I could type. Jeez, man, it's cold down here. My hands are like freezing. Let's see. XRP price jumps 10%. Let's see. An article about it? No. The price of XRP suddenly jumped 10% to outperform the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. XRP is outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum in daily gains, as these are up 0.62% and 2.87% respectively. Yeah, but why? Why? It doesn't say why. Fox Business Correspondent predicts 3 outcomes for summary judgment in the Ripple SEC case. There we go. For those not in Ripple, let me expand this so you can see it. For those not in Ripple, for those not in the XRP community, if Judge Torres comes back with a decision on summary judgment in the Ripple case this week, one of 3 things could happen. She could side with Ripple, she could side with the SEC, or she could decide the case should go to trial, Tarrant tweeted. Crypto law founder John Deaton predicts that the Judge Torres will rule in favor of Ripple executives Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. Interesting. Right here, he says, I predicted over a year ago that Judge Torres will rule in favor of B. Garlinghouse and whatever. I believe Judge Torres will rule that no responsible jury could conclude that the 2 executives were reckless in not knowing XRP was a security when the SEC itself didn't. Oh, damn. He believes Judge Torres will rule no reasonable jury could conclude that the 2 executives were reckless in not knowing XRP was security. Yeah. In the latest developments in lawsuit, Ripple defendants have offered the ruling of Judge Michael Wiles in the Voyager bankruptcy case, which rejected the SEC's obligation in further support of its fair notice defense. Dude, that's kind of interesting. That's awesome. So I hope they win that case. It'd be great. Damn. So, well, that explains why it's pumping, but holy shit. Does anybody have any? Does anybody have any? Caspa, Nexa, CFX, or is that a lithium? ALPH? Is that a lithium? Somebody in the chat's asking me. You want me to decide between those? You know, let's look at, honestly, I don't know enough about Caspa or Conflux. I just don't. Nexa gives me red flags because it came out of freaking nowhere. It's the developers of Bitcoin Cash, as far as I know, that are trying to be a faster Bitcoin, a better Ethereum, and yada yada. But I don't know. I just think it's a lot of hearsay until something happens. Other than that, Lithium. Again, I don't know much about that. I do have some. I mined it for a little bit, but yeah, it's not a coin that I really care about, to be honest. I still have to get into my wallet. What's it called? I opened it the other day and it doesn't, I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but I opened the wallet and I log into it like a username password and it's just blank. Like there's literally nothing. Like it doesn't show like receiving, sending, nothing. It's just the whole screen is blank once you log into it. So I don't know what's wrong with it. Panda, what are you saying? Don't talk about a lithium. Why not? You want all mine? You can have it. that was the worst decision to dual mine a coin. I'm not yeah, I don't know. No thanks. Solo out Lithium y'all said Flux is overrated. Yeah, Lithium's probably a scam. Who knows? Caspa is down 3.5%. It's still at 1 cent though. It's still doing well. Caspa is one of those coins that like I wish I got into it a little more, or just in general, but they need a better wallet. I'm not getting into them until they get a wallet. I don't care if it hits $10. Like I'm just not. I'm sick of these shitty ass core wallets or browser wallets. Like I hate that. Which coin do you prefer to mine nowadays because you have free electric? Dark. Nice, dude. If you had free electric, I would mine Bitcoin all day. Other than that, it would probably be, I would have to say Flux. I would have to say Flux if you have free electric. Or Caspa. I mean, Caspa is just, it's super efficient, right? And it's good on everything. As far as I know. The yield's pretty good. Do I mine Caspa? I don't. I should, but if they had a better wallet, I would. But I am not as of right now. Again, XR. Why'd you tell me not to talk about lithium? Panda. Now I want to know. 28 cents, huh? Man, I don't even know what it was at when I was mining it. What am I doing actually? Let's go to probably a year. It's probably a year ago. So it's probably higher than it was when I was mining it. If I had to guess. I can't remember. I was dual mining it. It was before Ethereum was gone. I know that. But I think it was more than a year ago. I really do. But see, like, look at this. Charts like this that start, like, look at, just way up here. Like, it opened up at $1, basically. And then it just takes a shit and never recovers. I don't trust things like that. I just don't. Like, it just makes me feel like the devs were just in it for the money. They sold everything and just took off. Like, that's it. But, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for them because I don't know them. But, you know what I mean? Just things like that I don't like. It really gets to me. So, yeah, I don't know. And Caspa was never like that. It's over its all-time high right now, actually, I think, right? Yeah, Caspa just came out, though, too, in May 2022. So, I mean, I guess only time will tell. Only time will tell. Don't mind me, altcoin, please. Lithium is a scam. Move on. Yeah, it probably is. Let's see. How do you guys feel? Oh, what is Flux at today? Let's see what Flux is at. How do you guys feel about Flux in general? I think I like it. It's a good coin. I think it has a good potential, but man, like this, it needs to pick up price. 62 cents. They're doing so much. Like, I feel like it should be worth more. I mean, let's, I guess we'll have to see, right? 2018. It came out, it ran with everything else in 2021, 2022, right? So, I mean, this chart looks healthy overall. I mean, it seems like it's gonna stay on a stable incline, but I mean, only time will tell. They've been doing a lot though, bringing out websites and all that ish with it. And the all-time high was only $3. It's like not even much, right? I wouldn't be shocked to see it get to $10 a coin, but it's a ways away, right? It would be till at least the next bull run, in my opinion, anyways. And that's probably what, 2024, 2025, after the halving of Bitcoin. Gonna take a little bit of adjustment. Let's see. Last 24 hours. Yeah, XRP's on the top. Stellar Lumen. Interesting. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh boy. All right, fellas. Love you all. Appreciate you for being here. My kid's up. I can hear her screaming. So I gotta get out of here. Crypto Zombie, awesome video today. Appreciate you, buddy, for allowing us to watch that with you. And you guys, thank you for watching it with me. But have a good day. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, have a good day, and I'll catch you soon. Peace out. She is screaming.